I came home expecting an ordinary night. Instead, I found my wife frozen in the hallway, holding a letter in shaking hands. And my son was gone. For a moment, I thought maybe they had argued. Maybe Noah stormed out again, the way teenagers do when emotions run too hot. But then I looked at my wife's face. She wasn't angry. She looked terrified. The kind of terror that turns a person into stone. My name is Henry Carter. I'm 42 years old, and before that night, I believed I knew every secret inside my home. I was wrong. I've spent most of my life building things. I'm a contractor. I fix damaged houses, restore broken structures, make weak foundations strong again. I used to believe families worked the same way. If something cracked, you repaired it. If something broke, you fought to hold it together. That belief had gotten me through 18 years of marriage with my wife Elena, and through raising our son Noah. Or so I thought. That evening had started like any other. I left work late. Noah had sent me a text around 5. We need to talk when you get home. That was all. No explanation. No hint. I assumed it was money. Maybe college. Maybe trouble. Maybe a girl. Nothing prepared me for what I walked into. Elena, I said slowly. She didn't answer. She just stared at the letter. I stepped closer. Where's Noah? Her lips moved, but no sound came. Then finally, he left. My stomach tightened. What do you mean he left? She held out the letter. My hands shook as I opened it. I recognized Noah's handwriting immediately. Dad, I found out the truth. Ask Mom about 2008. Ask her who Liam Carter was. I can't stay here until I understand why you both lied to me. Don't try to stop me. Noah. I read it twice. Then a third time. Liam Carter. A name I hadn't heard in years. A name I had buried. I looked up. What did he find? Elena's eyes filled with tears. The box. My heartbeat turned heavy. What box? She pointed upstairs. The attic. I ran, and in the far corner behind old Christmas decorations, I found it. An old storage bin. Open. Its contents disturbed. Inside, hospital papers, baby photos, a bracelet, and a name. Liam Carter. My first son. At least, the son I believed had died. I felt cold. 17 years of silence rushed back all at once. Memories I thought were buried. Pain I thought had faded. I stormed downstairs. What did Noah read? Elena looked like she wanted the floor to swallow her. He found everything. No, I shook my head. If he found everything, he wouldn't have left. He would have stayed. He would have demanded answers. He would have hated me to my face. Instead, he ran, which meant he found enough to be terrified, but not enough to understand, and that scared me more. I grabbed my keys. I'm finding him, but Elena whispered something that stopped me at the door. He found the adoption papers. I froze, slowly turned. What did you say? Her voice broke. He found papers proving Liam may not have died. For a second, I couldn't breathe. Because if that was true, then everything I believed about my past was a lie, and my son had just discovered it before I did. I drove through town for hours, called Noah 12 times, voicemail, texted, nothing. I checked the diner he liked, the gas station, the park, the lake, no sign. Near midnight, I parked beside the old lake bench where Noah used to sit when upset. And that's when I saw him, an old man, feeding birds in the dark, watching me. You're Henry Carter, he said. I froze. How do you know me? He stood slowly, reached into his coat, handed me a photograph. I looked down, and my heart nearly stopped. A young man, maybe 20, same gray eyes as Noah, same face, same blood. Who is this? I whispered. The old man looked straight at me. Your son. Then he walked away. Just like that. I ran after him, but he was gone, vanished into darkness. Only the photograph remained. When I got home near dawn, Elena was still sitting at the kitchen table. I threw the photo down. She looked at it and turned pale. "Oh God, you know him." Silence. Then, "Yes." I stepped back. My wife had recognized the face, which meant she knew something she never told me. I felt anger rising. "No. Betrayal. How long?" she cried. "I tried to protect you." "Protect me?" I laughed. A broken laugh. "You let me believe my son died." She shook her head. "I was told he was gone. But later you learned he wasn't." Her silence answered. And silence can be louder than confession. I wanted to scream, to break something, to wake up. Instead, I sat down, because I realized something far worse. Noah didn't leave because he found a family secret. He left because he found a living person tied to that secret. Someone real, someone waiting, and maybe someone looking for us. That thought stayed in my mind as dawn crept through the kitchen window. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. Static. Then Noah's voice. Barely a whisper. "Dad." My heart pounded. "Noah? Where are you?" His breathing sounded uneven, scared. Then he said 5 words I'll never forget. "He knows I found him." "What?" "Don't trust." The call cut. I stared at the screen. Elena looked terrified. "Who knows?" I didn't answer, because deep down, I already knew. Whoever sent that old man, whoever was tied to Liam, whoever had been hidden for 17 years, they knew my son was asking questions, and they were already moving. Then I heard something outside. A car door shut. I went to the window. A black sedan sat across the street, engine running, watching our house. My blood turned cold, because at that moment, I understood. Noah wasn't running from us. He was running from something much bigger, and it had just found its way to my front door. I didn't sleep that night. How could I? A black sedan sat across the street until sunrise, engine humming, windows dark, watching, or maybe waiting. Every few minutes, I looked through the curtains. Still there. I considered calling police, but what would I say? "Hello? I just discovered my dead son might be alive. My missing son called, saying someone found him, and now a strange car is outside my house." It sounded insane. Maybe it was. But when the sedan finally drove away at dawn, it didn't bring relief. It made things worse, because whoever was inside had decided to leave, on their own terms, not mine. Elena sat at the kitchen table, hands around cold coffee she never drank. I stood across from her, no more avoiding it. "No lies," I said. Her eyes filled. "I know. Start with Liam." She closed her eyes before speaking. And when she began, my life split in two. Years ago, after Liam got sick, doctors rushed him into intensive care. Complications followed. Paperwork, confusion, lawyers, threats, chaos. I remembered all of that. But I remembered being told our son died. I remembered signing forms in shock. I remembered grief. What I didn't know, what Elena had hidden, was that months later she was contacted. Privately, a man told her Liam had survived, but had been placed elsewhere. Moved. Protected. Gone. I stared at her. "And you believed that?" she whispered. I was 25, terrified, and they told me if I fought them, I could lose everything. "Everything?" "You." I laughed. A bitter sound. "You lost me anyway." Then she said something that made me stop. The man who told me was Marcus Vale. I felt the room turn cold. Marcus. Judge Marcus Vale. My oldest friend. Noah's godfather. A man who spent holidays at my table. A man I trusted. No. Impossible. And yet, nothing felt impossible anymore. Then my phone buzzed. A text. From Noah. One line. "I found him." I stared. No location. No explanation. Just that. I called. straight to voicemail. Another text came 30 seconds later. Don't come alone. My skin prickled. Then, a knock at the front door. 3 slow knocks. I opened it. No one. Just an envelope. No stamp. No name. Inside. Come to the old train depot at noon. Bring Elena. No police. If you want both sons alive, both sons. My hands trembled. Elena read it and went pale. By 11:30, we were driving toward the abandoned depot outside town. The place had been closed for decades. Rusting tracks, broken windows, weeds growing through concrete, dead silence. Exactly the kind of place where truth goes to hide. Then I saw Noah, standing near the loading platform, alive. Relief hit so hard my knees nearly gave out. I started toward him. He lifted a hand. Stop. His voice wasn't my son's voice. Not the one I knew. This one carried anger and hurt. And beside him stood the young man from the photograph. My breath caught. Same eyes, same face. Older, harder, but unmistakable. Blood recognizes blood, even before the mind accepts it. Noah looked at me. This is Evan. The young man gave a cold smile. Or Liam, depending who you ask. I couldn't speak. I had imagined this moment impossible. And now it stood 10 feet away, alive, breathing, looking at me with resentment. Then he said, You took a long time to find me. The words hit like a knife. Before I could answer, another voice echoed behind us. You're all asking the wrong questions. I turned. The old man from the lake, walking out of shadow. Samuel Reed. I knew his face instantly. Who are you? He looked almost tired. A man trying to correct old sins. Noah stepped closer to him. You told me he'd come. I looked at my son. You know him? Noah nodded. He contacted me after I found records. Records. My son had been investigating all this alone, while I was fixing roofs and paying bills and pretending life was ordinary. Samuel spoke. There was a network. I frowned. What network? He looked at Elena. She wouldn't meet my eyes. A private system moving children through altered records. The words barely made sense. You're saying trafficking. Samuel didn't answer, which was answer enough. My stomach turned. Noah said quietly, I found names, Dad. Whose names? People involved. Then he looked at me, and one of them was Marcus Vale. I felt like I might be sick. No. Not Marcus. Anyone but Marcus. Then Evan laughed softly. You still trust him? I didn't answer, because I didn't know anymore. Samuel reached into his coat and handed me a folder. Inside, bank transfers, sealed records, birth documents, signatures, and one signature stopped my heart. Elena Carter. I looked up slowly. My wife began crying. I thought I was saving him. Those words nearly broke me. Then Noah stepped back. There's something else. He looked over his shoulder nervously, as if expecting someone. What? He swallowed. Someone has been following me since I started asking questions. The air changed. Every instinct I had screamed danger. Then, a metallic sound from somewhere above. Evan moved first. Down. Gunshot. The crack exploded through the depot. Noah dropped. Elena screamed. I lunged. Another shot hit steel behind me. Sparks flew. Evan tackled me behind concrete. Noah clutched his shoulder. Blood. Oh God. Blood. I pressed my hand over the wound. Stay with me. Chaos. Footsteps. Running overhead. Then silence. Samuel was gone. Vanished. We dragged Noah toward cover. My hands covered in my son's blood. And all I could think was, I found one son, and I was about to lose another. Noah grabbed my arm weakly, his face pale. Dad! What? He whispered something so quietly I barely heard. It was Marcus. Then his eyes rolled back, and in that moment, I realized this was never about an old family secret. It was a war someone thought had ended years ago, and we had just stepped into it. I thought I knew fear. I was wrong. Fear isn't hearing a gunshot. It's holding your son while his blood runs through your fingers. It's wondering if the next breath he takes will be his last. We got Noah into my truck. I drove faster than I ever have in my life. Evan held pressure on the wound. Elena cried in the back seat. And Noah drifted in and out. At one red light, he grabbed my wrist. His voice barely there. "Don't let him." "Don't let who?" His lips moved. "Marcus." Then he passed out. At the emergency room doors, nurses rushed him away. And suddenly, I was useless, standing under hospital lights, hands covered in blood, waiting. Those hours were longer than entire years. A surgeon finally came out. He's lucky. Lucky. I hated that word. Bullet passed through the shoulder. No artery hit. No spinal damage. He would live. I nearly collapsed, but relief lasted seconds. Because Evan touched my arm. "Come with me." He led me to the far end of the corridor, out of Elena's hearing, then said, "There's more you need to know." I leaned against the wall. "What now?" He looked exhausted, like a man who had been carrying a secret too long. "When Noah found me, he didn't just find me." "What does that mean?" "He found files." My pulse quickened. "What files?" He took out a flash drive, held it up. "This." Apparently, Noah had traced fragments of sealed legal records online, cross-referenced names, payments, birth records, disappearances. And there weren't just a few cases. There were dozens. Children rerouted, identities altered, families destroyed. A system still active. I stared. This can't be real. Evan's expression hardened. "It is." Then he said something worse. "Noah thinks Marcus isn't the top." "What?" "He thinks Marcus answers to someone." My mind refused it. A judge involved in stealing children was already impossible. Now there was someone above him? I wanted none of it to be true. But truth doesn't care what we want. Then my phone buzzed. "Unknown number." I answered. Silence. Then a man's voice. Cold. Measured. "You should have stayed ignorant, Henry." My blood froze. "Who is this?" A pause. Then, "You're reopening graves." Click. Call ended. I stared at the screen. Evan saw my face. Who? I don't know. But I had a feeling, and I hated it. Around midnight, Noah was stable enough for a room. I sat beside his bed while machines beeped softly. He looked younger, asleep, almost like the boy who used to fall asleep on my chest watching cartoons. Not the young man dragged into a conspiracy. I whispered, "I'm sorry," not sure whether I meant for failing him or for all the lies that led here. Then a nurse appeared. "You have a visitor." "At this hour?" She handed me a folded note. No name. Just basement records. Come alone. I should have ignored it. But something in me knew. Samuel. I took the stairs down. Basement corridors smelled like dust and old paper. Half the lights flickered. Then I saw him, waiting by a locked records room. Samuel Reed. I stepped toward him. I wanted answers. Instead, I almost hit him. "You let my son get shot." His voice stayed calm. If I hadn't warned Noah months ago, he'd already be dead. "What are you talking about?" Samuel looked older than before. "Broken. I helped move children once." I stared. "You admitted it?" He nodded, with regret. I wanted to hate him, but regret was written all over his face. Then he handed me another drive. "This has everything." "What is it?" "Proof." "And why give it to me?" "Because I may not survive the week." A chill ran through me. Then he leaned close. "The one behind this." I held my breath. "You know him." "Who?" He opened his mouth, and alarms exploded upstairs. Code blue, shouting, running. I sprinted, heart pounding. Something was wrong. Noah's room, empty. Bed stripped. Machines disconnected. Gone. My world stopped. A nurse screamed. Security had been breached. Hospital cameras showed a man in scrubs wheeling Noah out. Fake medic. Kidnapped. Again. Elena collapsed. I couldn't breathe. Evan punched the wall so hard his knuckles split. Security locked exits. Too late. No trace. Then I remembered the drive. Hands shaking, I opened it on a hospital computer. Folders, names, transfers, payments, photos, and one face made me go cold. Judge Marcus Vale, not his client. Operator, my friend, my son's godfather. Monster. Then, a final file, video. I clicked. Marcus on screen. Older recording. Talking to someone off camera. And the voice answering. I recognized. Impossible. I replayed it. Again. No. It couldn't be. Because the second voice belonged to someone I had known even longer. Someone I trusted even more. I shut the laptop. Couldn't process it. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered instantly. Noah. Breathing hard. Dad. Noah. Where are you? I don't know. His voice trembled. Darkness. Behind him. Metal sounds. He whispered, "Don't trust Mom." My blood froze. What? She knew. The line cut. I stood there, unable to move. Evan stared at me. What did he say? I looked toward Elena, my wife, crying, broken, possibly innocent, possibly not. And for the first time in 18 years, I wondered if I had ever known the woman I married. Then hospital doors burst open. Police arrived. Too late. Always too late. An officer approached me. Mr. Carter. He held out a photo from security footage, captured seconds before Noah was taken. A blurred image. The fake medic pushing Noah. And walking beside him, a woman, face partly turned, but recognizable. Elena. The room spun. I looked at her. She looked at me and whispered, "It isn't what it looks like." But I had heard that before. From liars. From cowards. From people hiding truth. Then my phone buzzed one final time. A text from Noah. Single sentence. He knows about the third child. Third child. I stared. What third child? Before I could ask, another message arrived. From an unknown sender. If you want your son alive, come alone. And bring the mother. I read the message.